Hello, guys. Welcome to the Rand Podcast. And in the Rand Podcast, we basically talk about tech and tech news and basically freelance success stories for web developers and software engineers. I'm a beginner web developer, so bear in mind that everything that I'm going to discuss in this episode is from a beginner perspective. I don't want someone stoning me because I said something that is not an industry standard. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about something that I promised that I'm going to make. It is basically based on a short that I made about how I earned $300 from a client, which is kind of good money considering that I'm a beginner and yeah. So it's basically good money for a beginner, and considering that I live in Kenya, so it's basically good money. And considering the time frame that I made the money within, which is good progress. I believe there are developers out there who are making way good money more than I am, but I believe it's good money to make on the side. So just want to share these stories so that maybe some beginner out there can maybe duplicate the process that I used, or maybe implement what I used, the processes that I followed, and possibly have a client who is going to pay them similar amount or even more, which is a good win for you. So if you see me looking on the side, it's because I'm looking at the screen and I have an outline that I've already made, which is kind of going to help me like have a better thought process. So that story that I made um, was entirely true. I wasn't trying to like make a big story out of it. So I actually got this client. Um, so let me give the narration. Yeah? So the client is called Ken. I was referred to Ken from one of my former clients who I'm actually managing a website for. Her name is called Christine, or her name is Christine. Yeah, her name is Christine. She's an Australian. She's actually not a medical doctor. I don't know what they call it. They kind of do massage that is going to help. I don't know, like the whole structure. I hope the medium massage. The service she actually does is the medium massage. So Christine referred me to someone who is called Ken. Ken turns out to be her partner who was running a website on Wix and wanted to move the website to WordPress. So that is the first thing. So I was referred. I actually didn't pitch to this client because I actually didn't even know Ken existed. So I was referred to Ken. And my referral to Ken came through me doing actually very good service to me doing very good service to Christine, and that is why she referred me to her. We've actually been working with Christine for about a year. Is it a year? I think 2 years because I started teaching her on how she can be managing her WordPress website. And if you haven't watched my previous video, one of the services or one of the skills that I advise upcoming web developers who want to know how to actually program and write code, I actually advise them to know something about web development, because knowing something, not web development basically, but something about WordPress, because by knowing something about WordPress, you can actually leverage that skill to pitch to other clients who want their website managed, and possibly in the process gain something. So these videos are living proof that you learning that skill can be beneficial to you, especially if you don't have anything else that is supporting you. First of all, on WordPress, and maybe in the entire process, as you do other gigs on the side, you can actually be also learning how to program, because you learning to program and gaining the skills and actually getting your first employment or your first contract is going to actually take time, possibly maybe 6 or so months, and before you get for those 6 months you actually need to survive. So learning WordPress for you is a good thing. So I'm going to refer you to a previous video so that I don't want to talk too much about how you can um, learn how to or run WordPress. So I don't want to talk about much about WordPress in this video, but you can on a previous video. So that said, so after the referral, Christine is actually a good lady. She actually made a group between the three of us where Ken would ask me questions, and that kind of helped me because she kind of built trust for me. And the process wasn't that hefty. So the first question was, how much do you think that this is going to cost us? So the first thing that they actually sent me the link to the Wix website. And I actually went through it and checked it and checked the number of pages, checked the number of posts, and kind of gauged. So I did some quick math and realized that this is basically going to last 5 days, me working on the site, and I'm going to do it full time. So I actually made a breakdown, because I got Christine from Upwork. So, but we actually talk outside the platform, not necessarily to transact, but basically because outside the platform you can talk faster than through the platform. So we actually talk outside the platform, and when it comes to transactions, we hop back to Upwork. But on this referral, we didn't, she had to create an account and all that. She didn't want to do that. So she actually told me that she's going to pay me through PayPal. And that is what actually happened. So I actually break down I actually thought that we are going to work through Upwork. So I actually first gave the breakdown using my Upwork rating, which is $10 per hour. So and me working 10 hours a day, that is $100 per day, and um, 5 days, that is $500 per the entire project. But I kind of offered a different alternative. You don't have to pay me per hour. You can pay me for the entire project, which is we're going to kind of help you and save you maybe $200. So I gave her a different rating. I told you if you can opt to not work for the hourly rate, and I'm going to charge you $300. And this is one of the things that I want to ask beginners out there, maybe to share with their clients. When you have an opportunity to earn more, but you can see an opportunity where the client is going to pay less, but at the same time you feel that that less is enough for your service, always recommend the lesser price, because the client is going to find find you useful, because you don't only think about yourself. You don't want the client to think that you think only about yourself. You also want to show them that you mind them, right? You also want to show them that you mind them, and you just don't want to milk the money. You want them to stay in a fruit for the long term. So I actually proposed the 300 offer, and she actually went with the 300 offer. And to my surprise, I received the deposit the same day, in the evening, and was given the go ahead. I was given the logins to the Ventra IP, which is the website that they use for hosting, and the entirety of that night. Uh, there's always that good feeling of you having received deposit from a client, because it kind of shows that they trust you. Um, yeah, it kind of shows that they trust you and they believe in your skills. And this entire trust process was actually eased on my side because of Christine. So if you have that one client who you are working with right now, um, be good to them. Don't just behave awkwardly, because that client, you never know, that client is going to give you um, a referral in future. So after having um, the recommendation, or no, not the recommendation, the Ventra IP, the hosting service provider um, logins. So I should have mentioned that the client had some expectations, and one of the expectations is that their site is not going to lose traffic, right? And this expectation was geared by they had an SEO consultant who was actually helping them with their website, maintaining the SEO and so on and so on. So I had to ensure that the website does not lose traffic. And ensuring the website doesn't lose traffic is not an easy thing. It is an easy thing, but not entirely, because you have to be very cautious about the permalinks. You have to ensure that every page that has changed the permalink is redirected, and all those processes. So so I talked to the client and I told him that if I'm not going to change any permalink, that means that I'm not going to do any optimization. So what you want your website to be is to maintain the same traffic that it had before, which he was okay with. So on the other side, I had to do a lot of work, but on the other side, I also was taking that burden of me having to optimize every page, which is something I that was good to me, that I understood, but yeah, that I basically understood. On the other hand, there's one expectation that I did misunderstand. The client told me that they want the website to reflect those services, but they didn't tell me that they want some changes in the design. So I didn't do any. I actually did a lot of changes in the design, in the entire design. So they didn't actually describe it as a migration. They actually described it as transfer of the website. But what is more important is the reflection of the services. Like, they wanted their services to be um, better. You know, if you've been in this freelance industry for quite a long time, you understand that misunderstanding quite often happen, and this was one of them. So the entire, like, the first 3 days, I actually did a lot of the design of the web pages, but on the third day, um, they were actually not much interact, because after getting the logging, the first process is you installing the WordPress, and you installing the WordPress. And because they didn't want me to lose the traffic, so I bought a different domain with a .online. I didn't use my money, so I advised them to buy another different domain for which they got actually for free. And after them getting the different domain, so I had to actually develop the website on a different domain. And when the SEO consultant agrees that the website is as good as was, all I had to do is migrate the domains. Like, assign this old domain into the old hosting. So so first of all, this is how I engaged. This is how I was engaging the client. So if you're working freelance and the client actually sends you deposit, they're actually going to expect you to talk to them very often. And one of the things that I used to do is I actually used to communicate with them every day. Every day I would send a message on, this is what I did today. For example, the first day, my message, I don't know whether I'm going to find I know we've been communicating so much now, but I actually don't think I'm going to get the first message. But the first message was, today I'm planning to install WordPress, customize the homepage. That is what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to send that message. And in the evening, after doing what I promised to do today, I'm going to tell them, was what I planned to do today successful? Or did I complete the entire tasks? And after that, I'm going to also mention that tomorrow I'm going to be working on the services page, and this is what I'm going to do on the services page. So every day they would wake up and check the website, and no, not actually check the website. They would wake up, check the pages, and give me feedback. But it did actually happen that for the first 2 days they didn't actually check the website, which is where this confusion came in. Because the first 3 days I didn't actually create the website as I should have, because I actually remade or redesigned some of the pages, which is what after he checked the website on the second day, I think second or third, told me that this isn't actually what I wanted done. What I wanted done is the migration now. That is where I understood that there's a way he described the process, like I'm supposed to transfer, not actually transfer, but I'm supposed to maintain the entire design. That is when now my mind picked up, oh, I'm supposed to do a migration, not actually design the website, which was actually even an easier task. If I knew it was actually migration, I would have completed the entire project within maybe the first 2 days. So when I actually understood that now what they wanted was migration, they actually told me that they don't expect me to repeat the entire design, but they want certain pages fixed. But I actually told them that I'm going to ensure that they are happy, and by ensuring they are happy, I'm going to use. They want the old design maintained. I'm going to ensure that I remake everything. Which is one of the things that I want to advise beginners to do. If your client had certain expectations, and by bad luck there is a misunderstanding on what they expect plus what you understood that they expect, always go for the what they expect so that you can maintain that good relationship, and maybe in future you can have this client refer you to future projects and so on. Like you work on maintaining these, work on working yourself up and end up maintaining a good relationship between you and your client. So I actually now started on the migration, which I did, and within the next like 3 days, I was done with the entire project. Which is also, the website was also mainly focusing on the website was also mainly focusing on remedial massage and such services. So I actually completed the entire website within basically a week. Yeah. And then after completing the website, I talked to them and told them that maybe I can give you like 2 days. You go through the website. You tell me which responsiveness or which features of the website are not working properly from your end. Because again, you understand, if you're going to design the entire website on your own, you'll understand that in some places that you're going to mess up, you're going to think that a feature is or is as worse on the old website, and after the client checks and they are going to realize, oh, actually this color is different from this color, and me being a man, actually that even complicates it even more. So after me giving them like 2 days, they actually sent me the screenshot of we actually wanted this logo to be a little bit bigger, yeah, which I did, and then um, told them that if you make, for example, in some cases you would find that if you make this logo bigger, it's going to actually mess up with the menu and maybe mess up a little bit with the responsiveness, because again, you don't want your logo to be so big on different layouts. So, and they actually didn't have a different logo that you can use on Retina devices or the smaller devices. So they actually had one logo, and that one logo was more rectangular than more square. If you've been working with WordPress, you will realize that more rectangular logos are actually difficult to work with than circular and square logos. Actually, square and circular logos are the best. So I fixed the logo issue, and the other issue that I fixed was yeah, basically the main issue was logo, because logo was messing up with responsiveness. So I fixed that on the third day. And then on the fourth day, what I did was the migration. Now, the migration of the domain. Because if you remember, I did tell you that on the first day, um, we talked. I actually advised them that they don't want to lose the traffic. what they would have to do, because again they don't want to take this old website down. So we are going to ensure that this old website is up, and on the other side we're going to ensure that the new website is actually not indexed, because if it's going to be indexed, well, um, someone is going to click on, maybe in a few days someone is going to find that link online, they're going to, that is lost traffic basically. So after designing the website and them finding that the website is okay, the second process of migrating the domains is where you change now every link on the website that you created. So the first thing is assigning this old domain into the new, into the old domain which was hosted on Wix. So now the new process is they now have a hosting that they are managing. So the process is this old domain, which has the traffic, which has everything. Now the process is managing that, or transferring that domain, or directing that domain to the new hosting that they have bought, which I did within the 4th day, and changed all the links on the menus, the links on the pages, which I had changed initially, because they now have to reflect the dot online on our website. So I now changed the links and asked them to check again whether everything is alright. And by Friday, I had the next payment. I think it basically took 2 weeks because of the the communication that the two of you have to maintain. And again, if you tell your client to check the website, like how is it, you're not going to you're not going to pressure them that they should check the website within the day, give you feedback, and so on and so on. So when you tell them to check the website and how it is, you're basically going to give them time and let them take the time that they're going to find fit to give you feedback. So basically, I think that is it. So I know you might have basically lost me somewhere, which I'm going to advise that you leave your questions in the comment section. I'm going to answer them. And I also want to remind you that at this moment that you should subscribe. As you can see that at the moment I have 13 subscribers, which is not a lot. I'm hoping to maybe get to 100 subscribers within by June, which is like 3 months from now. And I hope that I'm going to hit it. I'm positive about it. So maybe some of the things that I might have missed on the outline, which is one of the questions that I was hoping to answer is the financial aspect is what I mentioned, that basically was paid the deposit, and after completion, which is 150. How I determined, I actually described that where I said that I first gave them an hourly rating of $10, which is not a lot, and then gave them a different alternative of them paying a flat fee, and a flat fee was my quoting was less than the hourly rate, which was fair to them, and I believe you should use the same tactics with your client. Give them an hourly rate and a flat fee, and always ensure that a flat fee is way cheaper than the hourly rate. And most possibly, ensure that the flat fee, don't make the flat fee too cheap, so that you also don't hurt yourself at the expense of your client. You basically want to um, get a good pay, and at the same time show the client that you mind them like spending a lot of money on this project. So something else that I didn't mention is the tools that I used. I actually didn't use any tools throughout the migration process. I basically recreated the whole thing because what Wix, I didn't find any good tool for migrating from Wix and then coming to WordPress. There was a lot of these tools with XSS feed, then me uploading that XSS feed, which I kind of think that I'm going to lose some design in the process. So I decided that basically, because this website is not too big, it's basically easier for me to like repeat the whole thing. It's like sort of copy and paste, which is easier work. So I didn't use any tools. And the platforms is that the older website was on Wix, and the new website is now running on WordPress, which is also another one of the most popular. It actually runs 43% of the web. It's one of the most popular content management system. Yeah. So maybe another. I mentioned the feedback and the revision. The main revision was on the logo, it being smaller on some devices which they preferred it being bigger. I actually mentioned that the website was too more rectangular than square, which is kind of messes up the design. So any other thing I have left out is there is actually nothing that I have left out on this outline. If you have any question, please direct them to the section below. And the last thing that I want to talk about is the insights or what I learned from the entire project. The main thing that I learned from the entire project is that um, international clients are way more willing to pay well than local clients, because I've worked with local clients and asking them for 30K for such a job. Most of them are going to complain. Most of them want to pay you 8K, 5K for an entire website, which is not good money, because again you're going to spend a lot of time on it. And the second thing that I learned is that basically there are good clients who pay well locally, but they are not way available. Yeah? The other thing that I learned is using these websites as my portfolio, kind of because again I did not choose this design. That is something that I should probably mention. This is not my design. I am not the one who designed the entire website, which is actually something that I have been suffering from. I find this website, or I find this client who want me to migrate their website as is, as the design is. But you are going to find that the design is way out, because one of the reasons why I opted to redesign the website in the first 2 days is because the design was way off. It didn't look it did not look like anything you would want to I kind of think that the designer who made the website initially kind of did a bad job. Um, um, so I did not find the design fit. So you're going to find that if I share this website as one of my portfolios, the clients are going to think, how comes that this is your design, and you're asking me for 50,000 for such a project? Look at the kind of work that you've done before. Yeah. So you're actually going to lose client for a design that was not yours, right? And I have such several projects of people asking me people giving me the specific design that they want me to make, or them giving me the design and me customizing, and me sharing my thought on maybe you can change this design. They are not accustomed to that. They don't want to do that. So you'll find that when I recommend us changing the design, they don't want to do it. So me sharing the website as something that I have one of my portfolios, the client is not going to like it because the design is not good. So I'm actually going to lose some jobs for poor design that is not mine. So I hope you understand what I'm talking about. So that is another insight that I got from the project. Um, So another thing that I would do, maybe some of the things that I would do differently in future is basically I don't think there's something I did in that project I would want to change. I don't think there's anything because I actually think that the project went well. Yeah. So any advice for beginner freelancers is that get out there, pitch to more international clients when you can, pitch on local clients when you can, and when you do get such a project, work on ensuring that the interaction between you and the client is at par. Ensure that the interaction between you and the client is good and is beneficial to you and is beneficial to them. Ensure that you recommend things that you feel are going to benefit them too. So I have clients who um, I've worked with since 2021. Yeah. Since I was a content writer, I migrated to web designing, and I also recommended my services to them or mentioned that I don't only write, I also do this other thing, and they found it good. They supported me. Yeah. So basically, ensure on creating a good relationship between you and your client. I have a client I got from 2021 when I was a content writer. I moved with them when I became a web designer. I am now with them when I'm also a developer. I'm a budding developer. So always let your client know when you're shifting and let them always know what you're doing right now. And when they go missing, for example, you find some of my clients that I've been with um, since 20, maybe from 2021. There's this 1 month that they're going to like have a job, and then they're going to disappear for like 2 months and then come back. Don't ghost them too. Once in a while, be saying hi. I was maybe looking at the website and realized that this and this is also missing. Like for example, in WordPress, maybe some plugins go out of date, and when they go out of date, they'll need to update them. So be doing such tasks for free. Maybe you can help them. Maybe say that I noticed that this plugin is broken. I can actually fix it for you for free. Yeah. So that when they will have a job that they think that is payable or that you think that is payable, they won't feel like you're in the business of um, milking them, their money. They won't feel like all is money. So that said, I just want to encourage you, beginner developers, beginner designers, go out there, keep pushing, and ensure that in a way you get something from your skill and learn something that is going to give you skills in the meantime as you learn the long-term skill. So that said, I just want to remind you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I hope that you're going to be encouraged to pitch more. And if you have any question, leave it in the comment section, and I hope that I'm going to be the best knowledge to answer you. And if you are an experienced developer out there who just stumbled on this website, on this vlog, and maybe on this pod, and maybe you have some insights on what I can do better, also also share your thoughts in the comment section, and I hope that we're going to learn from you as maybe you learn from me. So that said, have a good day, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.